My name's Amanda and I work at Leeds Teaching Hospitals. I'm here today to share the wonderfulness that we're doing with friends and family within the Trust. I do, however, feel a bit like a fraudster because I have only actually been in the role since April. So a lot of this wonderful work that I'm going to be speaking about was done by my predecessors, Jenny Wilson and Alison Sherry. But however, I want to continue with the greatness of FFT. So, oh, I'd have to press a button here. So, there we go. So, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the character. He originally, or this character originally appeared on the NHS England video, and Alison, who was looking after friends and family at the time, she absolutely fell in love with him. And what she did was she sat there for many hours, stopping the video, cutting out the character many times until we got the right ones, and sent it to our medical illustration team, and then they came up with these wonderful postcards. We've affectionately named him Fred, and Fred has many friends. We've got Frida, who's the pregnant lady. We've got Felix, we've got Frank. They all begin with F, by the way. I don't know if you realise that. We created a postcard as well for children, and on the back it's got the smiley faces. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we've also taken off the word test, as you know, children associate the word test with school, and we didn't want them to think as a test. We've also made it very accessible. So we've done an easy read version, we've done a large print with a background version, and we're also in the process of just creating and trialling it a dementia version as well, which is all about photographs rather than characters on it. We're just trying to make it as accessible as possible to all of our patients. We have also created some business cards. Now these business cards have a QR code on the back. This is for patients to be able to access it whilst they're in hospital, and it will take them directly through to the website where they can leave feedback. We've also created some stickers for our children's areas. Again, it just encourages children to be able to leave their feedback. We're just trying to make it as interesting as possible, and again, you know, it's about it being accessible. We also have many different posters around the Trust. We adapt them for each CSU area, so you can see we've got one here for critical care, we've got a maternity with Frida on it. We did a large poster which is shown in all our ED departments. And again, it's just trying to build a brand because patients will associate the characters with friends and family. Now, how do we engage with our staff? At first, staff thought, you know, friends and family was yet another tick box exercise, and we wanted to make it a really important part of their working day by trying to gain feedback from the patients, because if we can listen to patients and work on their feedback, we find that it cuts down the number of PALs and the number of complaints. So we launched a FFT competition where we invited all our inpatient, outpatient, day case areas to showcase how they show their patients that we are listening. It was supported by the Trust. We've got the lovely Julian over there, who's our Chief Exec. We had our Chief Nurse, Suzanne, and our Chair, Linda. Leeds Cares sponsored it for us, who's the charity, and all the winners received £100, and then the winning version, which I'll come on to, they got a £500 gift voucher from Amazon so they can improve this area, their areas. So these are the winning poster. well, that's the window poster, should I say, this one here, and it's just showing patients that we are listening to them. And as you can see, they could be as creative as they wanted. Going forward, we'll recognise that patient feedback is more about quality rather than quantity, and it's how do we show patients that we are listening to them. So we're thinking of new ways of how to showcase this to our patients. But like I said, these are a few of the designs that are, and when you go into these areas, down the corridors, this is what you'll see in most areas now in the Trust. Continuing with staff engagement, we reward wards, top performing wards, each quarter. We introduce a certificate. So each quarter we present certificates to wards and departments who have achieved over 30% response rate and over a 90% recommended rate. We started with 12 wards, and then this number grew, and unfortunately now, because we're victims of our own success, that we're finding that we're going out and visiting hundreds of wards per month, per quarter. So we are looking at different ways on recognising success. Each quarter, one of the chief nurses goes out and presents them, and it's a great morale boost for the staff, and it keeps them engaged. Social media. We do FFT Tweet Friday. Well, I say we, we're all we. I don't have anything to do with it. But my colleague tweets every Friday. We share anything to do with patient experience across the Trust. And it's just great to engage, and to communicate what we're doing well within each area. So we find that really successful. FFT champions, they do work for us. I know we just had the story before where you said that champions didn't work. We find that champions really do work for our areas. These are staff who are the go-to people for anything FFT. We've put together a role description, and basically it's the champions to encourage the rest of the staff members to remember to ask for feedback. Another way of engaging with the staff is that we produce a newsletter. This is quarterly, we send it out to all our FFT champions, and it's about sharing good news and good practice. We are hosting our first Friends and Family Forum on the 11th of November, where we're going to invite all our champions to come for a morning session to learn about the new changes coming to FFT in April. We've got a couple, we hope, some visitors from NHS England as a guest speaker, but it's also an opportunity to network and to share ideas. Another piece of work that we're doing is to visit every area of the hospital to ensure that wards and areas are completing their FFT to the best of their ability. On here, you can't really see it, it's a bit small, but we ensure they've got the right posters, that they've got business cards, that if they've got electronic devices, that they've got the app on there, to ensure that they are showcasing the feedback to the patients as means of we call it a wonder wall. So it's just about continued engagement with staff. We also send out an early warning dashboard. Now this is sent out to all wards and areas halfway through the month, where they trigger under the 90% recommended rate. And it's just for those areas then to go and have a look to see why they're not producing the results that they should be, to help give them time to be able to rectify before the month ends. The monthly dashboard, again, we send this out monthly. So every month we convert the month-end data that is submitted to NHS England, and we convert it into a friendly user dashboard, which you can see here. It's split into sections, so we do it from ED, inpatient, maternity, and outpatient. And as you can see here, it plots the response rates and the recommended and not recommended rates. And it also gives them an annual table here so they can have a look at their own performance. The other table there, we pick out a top performing area and share with the rest of the trust some of the comments and how well they're performing. FFT performance, this is what we've now just introduced, so we can have a look at over a longer term of how we are actually performing. So all the aforementioned staff engagement on the previous slides just shows in the results. We had our best ever response last month. And like I say, you can see where we started to where we are now. We've really risen with the response rates and recommended rates. Of course, we are far from perfect, and we've come across many obstacles along the way. Our main hurdle has been trying to convert wards from paper to digital. People don't like change. However, we are converting around 45 wards per week. Going digital, of course, means it's instant feedback. We can work on it instantly. We're doing our bit for the environment, but of course, we're also reducing the cost of input per card. The other thing is acting on feedback and how do we showcase the feedback. And again, the most important thing is keeping momentum. It's like previous speakers said, if you're not on it all the time, then you can see that in the results. But if we're out and we are promoting it, you do get the results. My predecessors have done a wonderful job promoting FFT to staff, but now it's time to promote it to patients. And we just want to be out there on screens within the hospitals. We want to be able to run the new video when that's available. Because what we find is, if patients can see feedback and we are acting on it, then they're more likely to want to leave feedback. The rollout of the new guidance will keep us busy in the coming months. But we're looking forward to the new challenges that are ahead of us. So, thank you. Any questions?
Oh.